Winter is finally over and spring is finally here. One of the best sounds of spring for me is hearing the crack of a bat as it makes contact with the baseball. What I'm talking about is the sport baseball. It is a great American pastime that dates all the way back to about the 1800s, very early 1800s, about 1830s. I like all sports and have honestly played a good bit of pretty much every single sport. Basketball, baseball, soccer, football, everything like that. But out of all the sports, baseball is definitely my most favorite. While every position on the team is very important, I think one of the most important positions on the team is pitcher. He can either command the game or he can lose the game if he loses control and starts walking a bunch of people, getting hit off of, all that stuff. Every at-bat is a battle and a duel between the pitcher and the hitter. They're both trying their hardest to either hit the ball or strike out the batter, both things like that. And a pitcher honestly should have more than one pitch in his pitch reservoir. He should have a fastball, which is used majority of the time, a couple all-speed pitches, something that he can throw in the dirt, get people to chase, everything like that. I think one of the better pitches is definitely a slider, because people think when it comes in that it's a fastball, but it definitely isn't a fastball when it breaks inside or outside in the plate, depending on where you start the break. And that is my topic for today. I'm going to be showing you how to throw a slider. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is obviously get a baseball. You don't have to be on a baseball field. You can be either in a backyard with a throwing net. You can be relatively anywhere. It's better to throw into something that will catch the ball instead of having to chase the ball if you're throwing hard all the way down somewhere. And so when you have a baseball, it's also better to have somebody to catch the ball for you. But today I'm just going to be throwing into a fence. But you want to take your baseball, a good baseball that has really good seams, and you're going to want to hold it just like this over the one seam, thumb right down here, and tuck your two fingers in like this. And then you're going to be in your wind up, and you can't really see it, but I'm going to be throwing against this fence. And usually when I throw my sliders, I start the break when I throw it pretty much at the batter. Depending on if he's a righty, then I'll be able to throw it at him. But if he's a lefty, then I'll throw it really outside that it breaks right in on the corner. And it's better to do that because they'll think it's going to either hit them one or two. They'll think it's going to be a ball. But obviously it won't be, because most of the time if you have a really good break on your slider or curveball or any all-speed pitch like that, it will fool the batter, it'll trick them, and they won't be able to hit it. They'll either chase it, strike out looking, or just miss it in general. So you can throw it either from the windup with a stretch, which is like this, and it's the same motion and the same steps for both ways. I'll demonstrate in the wind-up, so you can do your generic basic wind-up for any pitch, just one step back, one step forward, come in, lift up your leg, and then like that, and then what you're going to want to do when you're coming down with the pitch, when you have your hold on the ball like this, you're going to be coming down like this, downward like that, and you're going to flick it like that so it breaks in this way. And that's really the only way that you can throw a slider. You can't really, I'm sure other people have found out of many other grips that they can use to throw a slider, but that is necessarily the most generic way that people throw sliders. And I'll show it one more time in fast motion. So step back, over, slide up, and then throw it. And then usually 9 times out of 10, if you have really good accuracy control and you have really good break on your sliders, that you'll be able to get it just where you want to throw it and where you aim to throw. But when you pitch, you never want to aim. You just let everything be natural, because then if you aim, you're going to be trying too hard, you're going to throw balls, you're going to hit people, everything like that. But in my opinion, one of the best people, or if you're the best people that throw a slider today or in past generations, I would say either has to be Cole Hamels, the Phillies pitcher, Blake Snell, he pitches for the Rays, he's their star pitcher, he's their number one in the rotation, he's the starting pitcher, he's a lefty. It is better to be a lefty to throw a slider, or just anything in general, because you have natural movement when you throw any of your pitches. But also Aroldis Chapman, another lefty, the hardest throwing pitcher in the baseball league at the moment. He's almost overtaken. There's a lot of other people that throw sliders, but in my opinion, those are 3 of the best sliders that I have personally seen watching baseball, going to baseball games, playing baseball. Really, it's not that type of pitch that you can really develop as a kid. The generic pitches that you really pitch from the age down to T-ball, or when you can finally pitch against other people up into about high school, is really just fastball, 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam fastball, change up if you know how to throw that, maybe a curveball. Not really many people learn how to throw curveballs, but slider really isn't one of them. That's why when you throw it, people don't know what it is coming out of your hand. They chase it, they swing and miss, they just look going in the plate. Me personally, I have had a lot of success throwing my slider. I've struck out a good deal of people, walked also some people when I was very first learning how to throw it. I've hit some people and everything. It's repetition, and it takes time, and you're not going to get it within your first year, your first game, first month, anything. It's going to take a good bit of time, just like anything with baseball. Hitting, that takes a really good amount of practice to do it down. If you want to become a really good hitter, solid contact hitter, power hitter, anything like that. Most people, these generations, or the newer generations in the major leagues and everything, they're mainly all contact hitters now, not really power hitters. You still have the few veterans in the league that are still power hitters, but I really just think that people are being taught a different way to swing for contact, not swing for the home run fences. And I just want to say that this was How to Throw a Slider. Thank you for listening and watching.